Exodus chapter 34. Adonai said to Moshe, "Cut yourself 2 tablets of stone like the first ones, and I will inscribe on the tablets the words that were on the first tablets, which you broke. Be ready by morning. In the morning you are to ascend Mount Sinai and present yourself to me on the top of the mountain. No one is to come up with you, and no one is to be seen anywhere on the mountain. Don't even let the flocks or herds feed in front of this mountain." Moshe cut 2 stone tablets like the first. Then he got up early in the morning, and with the 2 stone tablets in his hands, ascended Mount Sinai as Adonai had ordered him to do. Adonai descended in the cloud, stood with him there, and pronounced the name of Adonai. Adonai passed before him and proclaimed, Yud-He, Vav-He. Yud-He, Vav-He, Adonai is God, merciful and compassionate, slow to anger, rich in grace and truth, showing grace to the 1000th generation, forgiving offenses, crimes, and sins, yet not exonerating the guilty, but causing the negative effects of the parents' offenses to be experienced by their children and grandchildren, and even by the 3rd and 4th generations. At once Moshe bowed his head to the ground, prostrated himself, and said, "If I have now found favor in your view, Adonai, then please let Adonai go with us, even though they are a stiff-necked people, and pardon our offenses and our sin, and take us as your possession." He said, "Here I am making a covenant in front of all your people. I will do wonders such as have not been created anywhere on earth or in any nation. All the people around you will see the work of Adonai. What I am going to do through you will be awesome. Observe what I am ordering you to do today. Here, I am driving out ahead of you the Emorai, Canaani, Hittite, Perizzai, Hivai, and Yebusai. Be careful not to make a covenant with the people living in the land where you are going, so that they won't become a snare within your own borders. Rather, you are to demolish their altars, smash their standing stones, and cut down their sacred poles, because you are not to bow down to any other god, since Adonai, whose very name is jealous, is a jealous God. Do not make a covenant with the people living in the land. It will cause you to go astray after their gods and sacrifice to their gods. Then they will invite you to join them in eating their sacrifices, and you will take their daughters as wives for your sons. Their daughters will prostitute themselves to their own gods and make your sons do the same. Do not cast metal gods for yourselves. Keep the festival of matzah by eating matzah as I ordered you for 7 days during the month of Aviv, for it was in the month of Aviv that you came out from Egypt. Everything that is first from the womb is mine. Of all your livestock you are to set aside for me the males, the firstborn of cattle and flock. The firstborn of a donkey you must redeem with a lamb. If you won't redeem it, break its neck. All the firstborn of your sons you are to redeem, and no one is to appear before me empty-handed. 6 days you will work, but on the 7th day you are to rest. Even in plowing time and harvest season you are to rest. Observe the festival of Shavuot with the first gathered produce of the wheat harvest, and the festival of ingathering at the turn of the year. 3 times a year all your men are to appear before the Lord, Adonai, the God of Israel. For I am going to expel nations ahead of you and expand your territory, and no one will even covet your land when you go up to appear before Adonai your God 3 times a year. You are not to offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread, and the sacrifice of the feast of Pesach is not to be left until morning. You are to bring the best firstfruits of your land into the house of Adonai your God. You are not to boil a young goat in its mother's milk." Adonai said to Moshe, "Write these words down, because they are the terms of the covenant I have made with you and with Israel." Moshe was there with Adonai 40 days and 40 nights, during which time he neither ate food nor drank water. Adonai wrote on the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 words. When Moshe came down from Mount Sinai with the 2 tablets of the testimony in his hand, he didn't realize that the skin of his face was sending out rays of light as a result of his talking with Adonai. When Aharon and the people of Israel saw Moshe, the skin of his face was shining, and they were afraid to approach him. But Moshe called to them. Then Aaron and all the community leaders came back to him, and Moshe spoke to them. Afterwards, all the people of Israel came near, and he passed on to them all the orders that Adonai had told him on Mount Sinai. Once Moshe had finished speaking with them, he put a veil on his face. But when he went in before Adonai for him to speak, he would take the veil off until he came out. Then when he came out, he would tell the people of Israel what he had been ordered. But when the people of Israel saw Moshe's face, that the skin of Moshe's face shone, he would put the veil back over his face until he went in again to speak with Adonai. End of Exodus chapter 34.